My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
What up, what up, what up? It's your favorite podcast, Three Brothers No Sense. I am Tavares Ferguson, a.k.a. Ferg, joined by, you know these guys by now, my co-host Byron Evans, a.k.a. Buff, and yours truly, the one and only Orazio Mancarella.
What up, what up?
All right, talk to the people.
First off, man, I just want to let everybody know that I got some gumbo waiting on me downstairs. So if I seen a little rust on this episode, that's why. Because I've been craving gumbo and it is cooking as we speak. So y'all gonna have to excuse me. The wife, she down there cooking it now.
Tabitha made gumbo?
Oh yeah, man. She learned how to make it from. Now, hey, look, she ain't using the Zatarain box, the cheap. She's doing it from scratch, bro. So I'm ready.
She need to make me something next time I come up.
That's what's up, man. We got
so. If that's the case, if we talk about food, I got a lot of flack from a post I posted about Chick-fil-A's macaroni and cheese. I want to let y'all know that it is delicious. And if you haven't gone, Chick-fil-A is nutritious and delicious.
I spared. I wasn't going to say that about it, but because I haven't tried it, so I can't speak on it. But the picture does not look better than some homemade mac and cheese. But like I said, I'll wait till I try it.
My post said it tastes better than some of y'all mamas macaroni and cheese.
You know that's
not my mama.
Wrong way. Shoot.
Oh man, it's a long week. It's great to be with you guys again. Well, as you know, let's do what we do best. Let's get into these questions. As usual, I'll start. So, fellas, we're a few weeks away from the end of the summer. Labor Day is usually when most people consider it the end of the summer. I've been thinking, it's been about 20 years since we graduated. I've seen you guys do a lot of things throughout your life, and I'm proud of you. I'm going to say that again. I'm proud of y'all.
I feel like he set us up for something, Rozzy.
I really do.
No, you know what? I'm not even going to ask that question. I'm going to tell you what I was going to ask. I was going to ask about your, what would your hot girl summer be?
Well, first off,
but I know Byron's been with Tabitha for 20 plus years.
Byron's hot girl summer was Youth on the Winning Side.
1994. So no, I'm gonna throw that out. I'm gonna keep it kosher for you guys. So I'm gonna throw a backup question.
That's a toss away question. Okay.
Yeah, that's a toss away. Hey, you can actually answer that on the Facebook group. What would your perfect hot girl, hot boy summer be? Because we're doing it like it's 99. So my other question is, you guys are pretty popular, really cool guys, I would say. So tell me about your most embarrassing and or awkward moment.
Damn. Rozzy, you want to take that one first, bro?
All right. So, that's the most awkward moment for me. I'm probably when I approached the bruhs for the first time.
Awkward or scary?
Listen,
I was scared, but it was awkward.
the reason I'm laughing, because if y'all don't know Razio, he's a fairly small guy, and when you think of the bruhs, the Qs, the Omegas, you think about big saying stomping dudes. So that's why I'm laughing. But proceed, man.
So I was in the arcades in high school and everything, and so we already thought of ourselves almost like the baby Qs. We really, a lot of us were already kind of ready to go there. And so I get to UAB campus already thinking, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm ready for this. It's the first day of class. So the bros are out on what we used to have, like a little quad or whatever, where everybody come out, eat for lunch and everything. The bros had a table out there, and I never forget, I'm like across the quad looking at the table for like 45 minutes, like, I'm gonna do this. Yep, I'm gonna do this. Hyping myself up. So I walk over to one of the bros, Coop. If anybody listening, Coop, I was like, hey, I'm going to be the bruh. And he looked at me. He's like, the what? And I looked and I was like, I don't know what to say at this moment. I thought that was my end. I thought that's what I did. Like, I let you know that I wanted to be the bruh. And so he was just like, man, get out of my face with your little... And I'm not going to say the last part of that, but it was like this awkward silence for what felt like 30, 40 minutes. It probably was like 5 seconds, 10 seconds, but I felt like it took forever for him to even respond. And when he finally responds, he just like shoos me away and be like, yeah, whatever, man, going on. And I'm like, I want this so bad. And so it was just super awkward. I didn't know what to do with myself. I didn't know what to do with my hands after that. So
what with my hands?
Yeah, I just turn around and I like just walk away back to the other side of the quad. I didn't know what to do, man. So it was just super awkward. So
what happened the next time you saw Coop?
Oh, next time I saw Coop, he whispered in my ear at the party, "You need to be getting on these big girls." I was like, "I'm in there."
Oh man. Wow.
My story is much shorter, man. Does everybody remember the Reebok pump tennis shoes?
Yes. Oh man, yes.
Yeah.
So listen, okay. In elementary, I never had any name brand shoes. Like the biggest name brand pair of shoes I had was some LA Gears. And for those of you that live in Mobile, we got them from Shoe City. So they wasn't too name brand, but my dad was like, listen, I'm going to get you these Reebok pumps. I know you really want them. So I was telling everybody, I'm about to get the Reebok pumps. They was like the hottest sneaker out there. For you youngins, it was a sneaker that you pump up and it was allegedly supposed to, I don't know, make the grip tighter on your foot and you can release it and all that stuff. D. Brown wore them. He won the slam dunk contest, so we thought they were cool. So I'm telling everybody, listen, I'm getting these Reebok pumps, man. For whatever reason, fell through. Dad couldn't get them. So mom was like, well, I didn't promise you any Reebok pumps, so you can't go. You about to go to...
Oh, no, brother. You got to get your own.
You about to go to Shoe City and pick out some shoes. I don't know if you can even pull this up on Google, man, but I wound up getting a pair of Sergio Valentes or some shit like that. Man, I wore them joints to school, and my best friend, Wendell Grant, who I mentioned on the previous episode, a.k.a. Slim, he was the ringleader in clowning me, man, at PE. He was like, he said, oh, man, you got some Bobos on. That's what you call off-brand shoes, by the way, Bobos. And, man, everybody at PE was laughing at me. And I had, how can you come back? You've been promising everybody you're going to get the hottest sneaker, and you come in there with some Sergio Valentes. It was nothing I could say. I had to take it, and that has stuck with me. I have y'all know, if you know Wendell, don't go cuss him out. He has apologized a couple of years ago for that. This happened in the 5th grade, and he apologized a couple of years ago. He's like, my bad. I didn't know it messed you up like that. So,
he's a good guy.
My best friend clowned me at PE over some Sergio Valentes.
Well, that's a horrible best friend, bro. Hey, Buff, I need you to Google and find those shoes and post them.
I'm going to try, bro. I swear I'm going to try.
Hey, man. So everybody put your biggest Bobos on there.
Yeah, because because some of y'all wasn't always in some J's. Some of y'all had, you know what I'm saying? So,
man,
post the Bobos.
I only had one pair of J's, so I can't even lie. I did have some Zooms, so I just know the zips. I had some zips back in the day. So
Three Brothers No Sense. Instagram, Facebook. Post your bobos.
Hey, man. Well, mine, I had to think about this. Okay, how am I going to set this up? So you guys grew up around the same time I grew up. So you all remember A Different World.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
What was your favorite episode? What was your favorite episode of A Different World?
Mine was when Whitney was about to marry Byron. And my man, Dwayne, the pastor was like, do you take this man? And my man, Wayne, said, do you? And he spit the hottest game ever to steal, man. He should have got his butt whooped. I mean, I don't know how Byron boys ain't jumping, but that's the episode for me, because if you watch the show, it had been building up. You had been waiting for Dwayne and Whitney to get together, and it finally came ahead.
What about you, Rising? Same episode?
Nah, my favorite episode was when they were pledging. Back to pledging again. And Dwayne quit. He's like, I ain't with this.
Well, hear me out. So way back in the day, way before I got married, way before I met my beautiful wife, who is the love of my life, my reason for being, all that good stuff. I used to date this young lady, and me and her remained good friends after we dated. And to the point where she even invited me to her wedding. Now, I had known this young lady at this point for at least 10 plus years, really close with the family, which brings up actually my second, probably most awkward moment is when her dad pretty much proposed to me in front of her at Christmas dinner. But that's a whole nother story. So, Razi, Razi, you probably know where I'm going with this.
Uh-huh.
So this young lady was getting married. So Razio and I attend the wedding. As we walk into the church, heads turn. Whispers start happening. You see that awkward look. What is he doing here? What is he doing here? What is he doing here? You even start to hear it. What is he doing here? So fast forward to the wedding, they're almost through, and you get to that part. Does anybody here have any reason that these two should not be joined in holy matrimony? I promise you, there was a pause. There was a turn where people looked back at me. I waved them off like I'm good. And they keep proceeding with the wedding.
I swear, it's like Ferg gave them permission to continue the wedding.
I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I didn't know what to do. I wanted to get up and leave. I figured they thought I was about to do the Dwayne, baby, don't go, marry me. I don't know what happened, what they were expecting. But I'm sitting there like, Lord, let this wedding happen. Like, I almost wanted to bless them myself. So I know it's a weird situation. It's the second episode in a row I talked about my exes, but that was probably the most awkward moment in my life when you have a church full of people who you've known for 10 plus years look at you like, hey, are you about to Dwayne Wayne this thing?
Wow, man. Wow.
Razzie, you were there.
I was. Oh, and I dated her as well. That's,
Goodness. So, Razzie, we were trying to keep it we're trying to keep the mystique, bruh. We're not naming people.
Oh, I'll edit that out then.
No.
I don't think she's following us.
You said yes. So play.
All right. Who's up next?
I think I'll go next.
Yeah, because I went second last time, so you go ahead, Rosie.
Yeah. So, I had a question, but my wife, she poo-pooed on it, so I'm not going to do it because she over in the corner right now looking at me.
You got a toss away question too?
Yeah. So my toss-away question. Yeah, my toss-away question was going to be, what was your favorite black comedy?
Oh. Why she make you toss that away?
Because she hates anything with like the one of these gotta go, or your top 5 rap groups or artists or anything like that.
How about you ask your second question and we can figure out which one goes?
Okay, all right. So my second question was gonna be, can your wife make you sleep on the couch?
Oh yeah, we going with that one. We going with that one.
Okay, all right.
Ooh. Yeah, say that black TV show for another time. We getting into this couch thing.
All right.
So my answer is short and sweet. Not only no, but hell no.
Why? Because I know Fire, you talk about the whole you can't get in trouble with your wife.
Oh, I can't get in trouble with my wife. And that goes vice versa for my wife. She can't get in trouble with me. We're adults. Like, she can be upset and I can be upset, and we can choose to react how we want and face consequences. But the last time I was in trouble was 20 years ago in 1999 with Maggie Lee Ferguson. Like, I don't get in trouble. And I'm not saying that to sound sexist or anything like that, but that's the understanding my wife and I have. Now, do we argue? Yes. Do we fight? Yes. But we don't acknowledge being in trouble. Neither one of us has the upper hand in our relationship or our marriage that the other one should fear repercussions, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that we joke about that when we see that on TV shows. I tell her, sleep on the couch, lock me out the room. I'm taking every door off the hinge in the house. You don't want to sleep in the same bed with me? We got a big king bed. We got a nice size room. We will lay those beds side by side. And because I love you, you can get the mattress. I'll sleep on the bed spring, the box spring. But sleeping on the couch? Nah, not happening.
I'm gonna have to concur with Ferg on this one. Although I think you can get in trouble. Clearly not in his household, but I mean, if you get caught in a hotel room like Michael Irvin back in the 90s, then you're probably going to get in trouble. But for me, nah, you can't make me sleep on the couch, man. Now, I'm sorry. I pay the mortgage here, help pay the bills. I'm an adult. I'm not sleeping on the couch. Now, I will say, full disclosure, we have had instances where I felt like I may have been wrong, or I may not have wanted to sleep next to her. We have 3 other bedrooms, so if it comes down to it, I'll sleep in one of the other bedrooms if I'm that mad at her. But on the couch, nah, man, I'm not finna have my back hurting and all that. Nah.
And I agree with you.
That's a TV thing right there, man.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Because we got extra bedrooms and stuff, and it's what makes you think you can make me sleep on the couch? Will I sleep in another room if need be, and I feel the need, or it's just uncomfortable, and we think it's best for both of us to kind of have our space? Yes, but that throwing the pillows down the stairs thing at me
with the blanket, with the blanket. Yeah,
that's what they do on TV. Yeah,
you gotta have a blanket. Oh no, come on. We're adults. We should be able to communicate better than that.
Yeah. I told Jenica, she tried that, I think, at one point. And I was like, well, you can sleep on the couch if you don't want to sleep with me. But when it comes down to it, I'm going to get in this bed. You better put some pillows between us. You better throw that arm out there, put it between us, something like that. But I'm not going to sleep on the couch. And so the thing about it is, though, Jenica will go sleep on the couch. If she's mad, she'll sleep on the couch just randomly anyway. So I have to actually get her off the couch to make her come get into bed most of the time. But if she's mad at me, she might sleep on the couch. But like Ferg said, if it's something where maybe I feel like I was wrong, or maybe I need to get that separation, I might go sleep on the couch or in another room. Yeah. But again, yeah, she's not gonna make me do it. That one, I don't think so. And she over there right now with some like smirked up face, looking at me.
Sleep on the couch at night.
I know. I might be in trouble.
That's the complete opposite of Tabitha.
Y'all don't hear in the background?
I want to say something. But I've tried to like sneak upstairs and leave Tabitha on the couch when she falls asleep, and she hates that. It's just funny to me for her to like wake up and I'm like already in the bed. And why you leaving me on the couch?
Well, you turn the lights off and everything, don't you?
Yeah.
TV. But you're a bully though.
I'm silly.
Yeah. See, I can't do that though, because if I leave her down there, she's gonna wake up at like 2-3 in the morning. And then she's going to come get in the bed, and she's not quiet about it. Like, she comes up, she's like flipping the lights on. She got to put her bonnet on and wrap her hair and everything. Like, she does not care about waking me up at 2 o'clock in the morning. And then she gets in the bed, and she falls right back asleep. And then what happens is I'm up, and I'm going to be up for the next hour or 2 hours. So that's why I have to make sure she gets up and actually comes and gets in the bed with me instead of leaving her down there.
Hey, where does that come from? That idea of the other person making the other person do something like sleep on the couch or leave the house or whatever. I think it's the same conversation.
Yeah, that's some made up Hollywood stuff, man. I don't think any real marriage. I don't think it could be that many where a spouse can make the other spouse sleep on the couch. I just.
I disagree. I honestly feel like
it happens more than you think.
I'm pretty
sure. Okay.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, like I said, I can't get in trouble, but seeing my wife upset is not the best thing. She still gets upset. And so do I. So I'm not trying to say it's a female trait or anything like that. But just think about this. The last time if I came to your house and spent the weekend with you this weekend, Byron, and you got upset, you got in your feelings, I'd be like, that dude tripping, he in his feelings. But if Tab got upset, I'd be like, babe, you know what? Let's just get us a hotel in D.C. We haven't really had some time to ourselves. We got the new kid. I would try to find a way to get out that house. Because when a woman's upset, it's something about her. And I think a lot of men may know how to deal with their spouse being upset. And it's easier to just go sleep on that couch rather than have that fight?
I would say, yeah, maybe voluntarily, but you guys think there are relationships where a spouse forces the other spouse to sleep on the couch?
I mean, it's like when you say force, they may not be able to physically force that person, but they have enough authority, I guess, or they're just annoying enough that if you tell me to go sleep on the couch, I'm going to go sleep on the couch because, like Ferg said, I don't want to have that argument. I'm not trying to fight with you. You're going to be tossing and turning in the bed all night and like butting on me and all of that and make my night all uncomfortable anyway. So I might as well.
All night.
Yeah.
I got you. All right. Okay. Well, I guess it's my turn. I definitely put you guys in a tough situation last week with Nicole Murphy question. So hopefully this will be a little easier for you guys. This is a conversation I had like a couple of years ago. A lot of people were divided on this. You guys have heard of quote unquote black names. How do you guys feel about naming your child or black people naming their child a quote black name versus a name that allegedly would get recognized better on a resume when applying for a job or applying for a college? Some people feel like you shouldn't name your daughter Shaquita or Daryl or, the typical black names because that's going to give your child a disadvantage.
Well, we apologize to all the Shaquitas and Daryls out there, by the way.
There's nothing wrong with your name, Shaquita.
But you know what? Actually, an actual Shaquita commented on that at the time. That's why I brought up that name, because she said she actually felt like, her name has caused her difficulty in her career. But I'm on the side of it's not going to matter what your name is. You can name your child whatever. If that company has such a problem with black people, when they show up for the interview, they're not going to get hired anyway. But, other people say, well, you still want to be able to get in the interview. But my retort to that is, okay, why do you even want to work somewhere that is that, aggressive towards black people to where they see a black name and they don't even want you there? So just want to get your opinions on, naming your child a Jamal versus a John or something like that.
What is it on Blackish? I think it's Devontae. Is the baby's name?
It was Devontae. It absolutely was.
They actually had a whole episode where they were trying to name him, and they had this conversation on the episode.
What was the opposite name? Do you remember they were going to go with before Devontae?
I don't. I mean, it's probably some Rainbow was trying to get him the name.
Y'all help us out, man, and if you remember that name. But go ahead.
So yeah, I'll jump in on this one. A little bit of my HR hat on, but just a little bit of history behind it. The thing about it is, you're not going to get past that implicit bias of it unless we continue to name our children so-called black names and things like that. But as a parent, I mean, I dealt with that. All three of my kids, Haley, Sophia, and Oliver, like probably some of the whitest names you're going to think of when you really think about it. And so the thing about it is, as a parent, you want to try to set yourself up, your child up for success. And in order to do that, so they can get in those interviews, so they can have that opportunity and everything, you try to give them that leg up, because unfortunately, right now, there is implicit bias. There are people, there's all kind of studies out there that talk about how, black names get called, I think it's 1/10 of the times of a so-called white name. They are, and I keep saying implicit bias, because the thing about it is, it might not, when you're talking about the company, it's not necessarily the company is anti-black or they're racist or anything like that. It is natural for people to gravitate to people that are like them. And so what happens is people try to hire people that are like them. And so I've seen, even in banking industries and things like that, I've seen a black manager come in and, you start hiring a bunch of black people in there, not necessarily because that's what you're looking for, but that's the people that you're around. That's the neighborhoods that you're in. That's probably the churches you go to. So when you're recruiting as a manager, when you're looking for people to fill positions, you go to your natural circles. And so it ends up that you get more of those type of people. And it's the same thing with a white manager and everything else. When you talk about a recruiter that's looking at a bunch of resumes and things like that, anything can get dropped out. And unfortunately, if it's something where not necessarily that it's a black name, but if the name is hard to pronounce, the recruiter might toss it so they don't have to try to pronounce that name when they call you. It's anything that they can do to make this faster and get to the interview and get people through, because a recruiter's job is to fill the job. So they want to get as many qualified applicants as they can. But at the same time, they still got to worry about, am I going to call and am I going to try to pronounce Shaniqua right? And, I'm going to offend you if I call you by your name wrong. Then, they just like, okay, I'm going to chunk that one. I'm going to chunk that one out. That name's hard, And so I think a lot of that goes into it. But back to the original question of naming your child a black name, I think we got to continue to do it. I mean, unfortunately, the problem is, until we continue to do that, until it becomes the norm, then that implicit bias is still going to be there.
And it's never going to change.
Yep.
So, Raz, you said a mouthful, and I agree with you on a lot of it. My first question is, why are we naming our children this name anyway? Is it a family name? Do we just like Shaquita? Are we trying to sound ethnic? Are we doing it with a purpose, or we're just doing it? Like, what's the purpose? I have a huge family, and I tell my family that's listening, circa 77 to about 83, my family, the Fergusons, it seemed like they were just reaching for the most random names they could find. And I'm like, wow, I was almost a teenager before I realized my cousin's real name, because we never said it, because they went out and did all these quote unquote black or ethnic names that they still don't use. But my question is, why are we trying to sound ethnic?
Well, I mean, that's obviously on a case by case basis, but I mean, some of them can have like a meaning behind it, like some type of some African meaning behind the name, or like you say, a family history or whatever with it.
Yeah. So that's my point. If you feel strongly enough about it, then you should.
Yeah.
But you also have to know the world you are up against.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you know that naming your child Shaquita is going to make it a little more difficult, then is Shaquita and whatever the meaning of Shaquita and your reason for Shaquita worth it? Because at the end of the day, it's your opinion and you being selfish. You want this name. Does it outweigh the potential challenges that Shaquita or whatever might have down the line?
Mm-hmm.
My name is Tavares. You know, I've had people mispronounce my name my whole life. I'm Sales. It's a very unique world that I live in, where I'm dealing with a lot of older Caucasians usually making decisions. And so when I come in and I introduce myself as Tavares, I'm going to get a weird look. I'm used to it. But also I've learned to overcome the challenges that come with that.
Mm.
But you have to present your child you have to put them in the right situation. And even with Rising was talking about recruiters, I think it's a path of least resistance. You know, mm-hmm. It might not even be the name, but when I see this name, I picture this Devontae. What is Devontae? Devontae probably went to this school. He probably grew up in this type neighborhood. He probably did this and this. Will Devontae be able to relate to outside of what his resume says? Because people pencil whip resumes all the time. Outside of what his resume says, will he be able to go into a meeting and have a conversation with the CFO of this hospital or the CEO of this large 3,000 employee facility? So they have to start looking at that. You know, I'm pretty sure you look at that. You know, when you look at doctors, when you look at, you know, would you go to a Shaquita Monique Johnson, MD? Probably not. Probably wouldn't be the first person on my list. You know,
wow.
I think people,
that was brave to say that.
I mean, when you look at it, that's how people. And I know we have great black doctors. One of my line brothers, great black doctor. I know a bunch of black doctors. Hell, I wanted to be a black doctor. But it's also, you know, if you look at a lot of doctors, even people from other cultures, they'll put their first name, strong middle name. You know, it might be Shaquita and Johnson, so it'll be S. Ann Johnson, MD,
mm-hmm.
because they're looking at playing the game. Now, would I still I'm going to read Shaquita, because my wife and I are pro-black. Pretty much everything we go to is looking at black doctors, black dentists, and all that stuff. But you still have your biases, just the way I look for them. You know, we're going to look up the resume, we're going to look at the reviews and all that stuff. So I think you have to be careful, but also be cognizant of what you're doing with them. My name is Tavares. I have a son, TJ, so I automatically put him in that same situation because I wanted a namesake. It meant that much to me. My daughter, Skylar. Skylar is a unisex name. So I even thought that far. You know, I want Skylar to be able to, when she submits her resume, people have to really look up and wait till they meet Skylar to figure out what she's about.
I think I found my answer in your answer, which is, you know, if you feel strongly about it, like if it's just not some reckless thing, like, you know, I want to name my daughter Aquanita, just, you know, with no reason behind it, then that's one thing. But my main point is I don't want us to be afraid to use these names. We did elect a guy named Barack Hussein Obama. Like, exactly. You know, it can be done. But, you know, even white people are kind of like apprehensive about it because Jerry Seinfeld, you know, his real name is Jerome. You never hear him go by Jerome. So, I think it's on their mind as well. But obviously you can be successful. One of my favorite TV personalities is Bomani Jones. And I mean, you pretty much know the skin color of somebody named Bomani. So,
but you also look at what kind of career path he took. Entertainment might afford you that, but it's not a black or white thing. If you look at other cultures, you know how many Muhammad's became Mike, especially after 9/11?
Yeah.
It is what it is. And you're right, we need to stand behind it. But I also think, like Roger said, are we just doing it, are we doing it just because?
I was going to say, Razio probably can speak to it too, because didn't the Italians go through this when they first moved here with their last name? Like, so... Yeah,
a lot of them changed the last name to make it more Americanized. I mean, it even goes down to like speaking languages. My dad and a lot of immigrants don't even teach their children the foreign language because they're like, no, you're going to be an American. Mm-hmm. So that was a lot of why we didn't learn Italian. Also, because my mom was like, no, they're not going to be cussing me out in Italian, and I don't know what they saying. So she would let us.
Smart mama.
How did your dad introduce his mom?
Oh, my dad introduced his name as Bobby. Like, he didn't say that, but I really think that was a club name. I don't think that was really had anything to do with Razio. My dad's like, I'm about to meet her. I'm going to get back on this Navy boat, and I'm out of here. And my mom was like, nope, gotcha. So, but no, when you were talking about one of the things that I thought about was if anybody watches the show Orange is the New Black, one of the actresses on there, or one of the characters, is Crazy Eyes, and the actress is like Uzo Aduba or something like that. And one of the things she was talking about was that her mom said to her, if they can learn how to pronounce Machiavelli, Michelangelo, all these crazy names, they can learn to pronounce your name too, because she wanted to change her name for a stage name. And her mom was like, no, they can learn your name. So like you were talking about, Byron, and Ferg too, it's, if you feel strongly about it, I think it really comes down to setting the stage and teaching your child the environment and what they're going to go in and prepping them for it. I mean, the same way we have hey, you're a black male and you're turning 16 and you got to drive, and we have the police talk and we have all the other talks. You just got to have that same discussion about your name is Tavares. Your name is going to there's going to be some doors that close because of your name. Just understand that. Be ready for that. Don't get down on yourself because of that, because you're beautiful. Your name is beautiful. And one day, it'll be looked on just as normal as if your name was Jerry instead of Jerome. So we got to have that talk with our kids and make sure that they understand that it's okay to be different.
Yeah, because I think there's power in a name. And that's part of the reason I named my son after me, is because in our community, our names for the most part don't mean much. We don't come from long lines of Mancarellas. You can go back generations. But even my last name, Ferguson, doesn't go back that far for us. It's, grandmothers, first husband, all that kind of stuff, But I don't know if you ever listened to a gentleman named Humbo Lukanga, was on Arian Foster's podcast. I think he was his second guest, right behind his mother. He's his financial advisor. But he had this probably 10-minute spiel on the power of his name and how being Humbo Lukanga and coming from a long line of Lukangas, and that being able to represent his father and his grandfather and all the Lukangas before that meant something. And so when I look at a name, I'm like, what are you representing? Aquanita, if it means something and there's a special connection and your mom, like, I was named you after Aquanita because this is this, and this, and this, and you can tell your story. But just because it was the cutest name, and Beyonce named her dog Aquanita, and then all of a sudden everybody names their kid after Aquanita for the next 5 years, you know, I didn't say anything negative about Beyonce, so I don't want any of the Beehive jumping on.
Not come at us. We are not ready for that.
I know us. That's Tavares talking. I know us. That's Tavares.
So, disclaimer: did not say anything negative about Beyonce, but you know, we followed fit trends and stuff like that. So, I think that was a great question, Byron. I do support black business. I do have a black doctor, but Demetrius, as a matter of fact, is Demetrius black?
One last thing before you take us out, man. On another podcast I do, Politically Entertaining, we had a guy named Salim Muhammad on there. He told us this story of how he went in for the job interview. And it was a white guy, and he saw him. He's a black guy. Salim Muhammad is a African American black guy. The white guy saw him. He's like, "Oh, you're that kind of Muhammad. You're not the other kind." Okay, and like he just said it so casually. Like that was okay, man. So, you know, I'm not naive that I do know names matter, but I just don't want us to be afraid to name our kids what we want to name them because it may sound too black. And we're using extreme examples with Aquanita. Like some people will go as far as to say, well, I don't want to name my son Jamal or something like that because they're going to know that's a black name. So,
you know, I heard a rule of thumb is like if you give your kid a jacked up first name, give him a strong white middle name. I forgot who told me that. It's like you can have
let him go by that name, right?
Yeah, that's like J. Dot whatever Peter J. Dot Peter Evans. You know.
Wow.
So,
right, but
that was I didn't make the rule.
Right, but that gumbo cooking downstairs. So
all right, fellas, it was a great episode. Had fun. I hope our audience likes it. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get beat up. Shaquita, my apologies. I just wanted to use it as an example. If you're a doctor, send me your card. I'll come holler at you.
I actually do know a Dr. Shaquita.
So, don't forget, if you're liking what you're hearing, guys, always subscribe. Make sure you hit us up. And if you want to hear us talk about anything, put it down in the comments, DM us, whatever. We want to hear what you want to hear about so that we can bring it up. I keep a running tally of all the questions that I want to ask, and I just kind of pop them off. So I record every last one of them so I can have them in the back. So with that, Bert, Byron, anything y'all want to say?
Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Three Brothers No Sense coming at you once again. Thank you, everybody. Byron, you got anything to say to the people?
We just appreciate the feedback. We finally made the first 2 episodes available, and we got some great feedback. So we really, really appreciate that. Thank you, guys. Only thing we can ask you guys now is just spread the word, tell your friends. Our reach is only so far. We count on you guys to help spread and help this grow. The show is still is in its infancy. We do have some ideas on what we want to do as we continue this. So just keep rocking with us and watch us grow.
Once again, Three Brothers No Sense. See you when we see you.